I swear, and you didn't talk at all. And so after about an hour and a half, I thought, he has no interest. This is so embarrassing.
How one promise still haunts. Nicole Kidman. The truth about her and Keith Urban. Every great love story carries both a vow and a shadow of doubt. For Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, the promise they made at the start of their marriage has lingered for nearly 2 decades, shaping the rhythm of their relationship and the way the public sees them. When they married in 2006, the event was painted as a fairy tale joining of Hollywood glamour and Nashville sincerity. Yet, beneath the surface celebrations, close friends say the couple agreed on something deeply private. They would never let fame speak for them. For years, that promise worked like a quiet shield. They appeared publicly united.
I don't know if you remember this, but we met before.
Oh, I remember.
Do you remember this? It was really embarrassing for me.
Politely avoiding gossip, and their mutual discretion became part of their allure. But promises can be tested. When Urban decided to speak publicly about his battle with addiction and recovery, Kidman faced an emotional crossroads. She was proud of his honesty and the courage it took to be transparent, yet she also felt the faint crack of their old vow. In a 2019 interview, she admitted, "I felt our promise break, but maybe truth needed air." Those few words reignited public fascination. Searches for Nicole Kidman promise Keith Urban spiked, and clips of her remarks spread widely online. What had once been a private principle suddenly became a point of global discussion about trust, vulnerability, and the cost of love under fame. In quiet moments while filming Far From Home, Kidman has hinted that she sometimes misses.
I'm going to speak to a little bit about a particular view I get of Nick for long time.
The conversations we should have in person. Psychologists might call that feeling an emotional delay, an ache familiar to many long-distance couples who live parallel lives under busy schedules. Fans, however, saw it differently. To them, it was proof that even the most admired couples wrestle with absence and miscommunication. What makes their bond inspiring is not its perfection, but its persistence. Instead of letting regret drive them apart, Kidman and Urban have turned it into a reason to reconnect. Over time, she reframed their old vow into something wiser. Our promise was to stay private. Our lesson was to stay present. That reflection circulates widely across social media, often quoted under Kindchuk's couple goals or inspiring stories. It serves as a reminder that even a broken promise can teach the deeper meaning of love, staying aware, not just unseen. As Kidman herself has said, promises don't haunt to hurt. They haunt to remind. The next chapter in Hollywood's reflection on love and legacy comes from a very different voice, Robert Redford, where Kidman's story revolves
Time now. But I'll start with the fact that we met in January 2005. We were being honored at this event called G'day LA, which sounds a bit like a pickup line from Crocodile Dundee.
Around the private promise between two people. Redford's centers on a promise to an entire industry. For 6 decades, he embodied both the charisma of the leading man and the conscience of the artist. From Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid to All the President's Men and The Natural, he carried an image of integrity that resonated with generations. By 2018, when he announced his retirement from acting, fans assumed his farewell would focus on accolades. Instead, he offered something far quieter and more profound. During the filming of a documentary about the legacy of the Sundance Institute, the creative haven he founded in 1981, Redford was asked what he most wished for the future of cinema. His answer surprised everyone. "I hope we slow down enough for truth to catch up again." It wasn't about fame or fortune, but about pace. In those few words, he captured both nostalgia and warning. Hollywood had become obsessed with speed, rapid content, instant reactions, endless streaming, and Redford feared that storytelling itself was being outpaced by its delivery systems. He wanted filmmakers to remember that art needs time, and truth needs stillness to surface. That single remark began circulating online, soon dubbed the Redford warning. Film schools and critics referenced it as a call to rediscover patience in the
Seen you since then.
I have not.
Right?
That is correct.
No.
But this is years ago, and
creative process. He had seen how the industry shifted from craft to content, how numbers began to matter more than nuance, and his wish stood as a quiet protest against the erosion of meaning. Through the Sundance Institute, Redford had long championed young filmmakers who valued authenticity over spectacle, and his final words felt like the ultimate extension of that mission. As streaming platforms multiplied, his message gained new resonance. Analysts pointed out that the very speed that connected audiences was also diluting the intimacy that once defined cinematic art. Fans responded with a surge of curiosity. Searches for Robert Redford quotes on filmmaking rose dramatically, and content creators across YouTube began citing him in essays contrasting classic Hollywood with today's digital culture. His perspective bridged nostalgia and thought leadership.
make you laugh. Yeah.
Now.
I always make you laugh. Wait. All right, so let's talk about it. It's Hugh Bonneville, my man Hugh Bonneville.
So funny.
Love him. Downton Abbey,
funny,
we love
yeah.
him.
A seasoned artist reminding the next generation that sometimes innovation begins by slowing down. For many, Redford's wish felt almost spiritual, a plea for reflection in an age of reaction. He didn't want the industry to worship his memory. One critic wrote, he wanted it to remember its soul. Taken together, the stories of Nicole Kidman, Keith Urban, and Robert Redford reveal something profound about promises and legacy. Both tales begin with restraint, a decision to hold back from the noise of the world, and end with the realization that silence and stillness can coexist with truth. Kidman and Urban learned that privacy isn't about secrecy, but about presence. Redford taught that artistic legacy depends on giving truth the time it deserves. Each, in their own way, faced the haunting of a vow, one personal, one professional, both human. Hollywood often celebrates what
What do you really like? Was it baseball or something?
What
Or maybe
sport
it
was it into? What hat was I wearing?
Yeah.
I was like
You were wearing-
dazzles, the premieres, the trophies, the headlines, but beneath that glitter lies a quieter heartbeat of reflection. Kidman's evolution from a guarded romantic to a more open partner mirrors Redford's journey from heartthrob to sage. Their lessons intertwine. Sometimes the most courageous act isn't to reveal everything, but to choose carefully what deserves to be spoken. In love and in art, speed can be the enemy of sincerity. Both stories urge a kind of patience that feels radical today. The patience to listen before speaking, to observe before acting, to allow truth to catch up before it fades away. As the curtain falls on these intertwined reflections, the message lingers. Promises, whether whispered between lovers or shared with an entire generation of artists, are not prisons. They are reminders, echoes of what matters most. Kidman's vow to protect intimacy and Redford's wish to protect authenticity come from the same emotional root, the belief that truth, once found, should be tended gently, not rushed or exploited. And so, while one promise still haunts Nicole Kidman, and one wish defines Robert Redford's legacy, both stories remind us of the same enduring truth, that what we choose to preserve, our privacy, our pace, our presence, may ultimately be the most powerful promise of all.